Check us out on Patreon, guys, where we give you our exclusive access to all of our videos, 186 videos and counting. We just updated it. That's why I know how many videos is on there.
Bangers too, though. Bangers. You know, nothing too shabby. I mean, I don't know, like a Led Zeppelin marathon. We got Metallica on there, some Megadeth stuff. You know, I'm just saying. Just throwing that out there, man. So if you're interested, definitely check that out, guys. The link for that will be in the description.
What's up, guys? Your boys are back. I'm Ryan, my man, George.
What's shaking, guys? How you living out there, man? Shout out to the free thinkers, man. It's about to be a movie.
It's about to go down.
Okay. This is what y'all been waiting on.
But before we get into it, man, shout out to the sponsors of this video, which is Gummy Shots, man.
Yes.
Gummy Shots is a little gummy that gives you caffeine. So your boy don't have to drink all these energy drinks and all this other stuff to bring you guys great videos.
That's right, plant-based too. And we've been experimenting with these gummies, by the way, guys. We've been taking them for about maybe a couple weeks now.
Yep.
And we haven't crashed, felt great. They're convenient, easy when we're doing these long recording days like today.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They've been very good for us, man. So definitely check them out.
So if you guys are interested, check out our code LIV20. You'll get 20% off. That link will be in the description below. So back to Tool, man. This has been a insane request. Even back when we did Numa.
And Invincible and Fear Inoculum.
Yep.
This was like, the fact that we didn't do this one was like a travesty.
People were so upset.
Tool fans were not happy with us. We were like, we gotta take a break, but this has been a big request.
Yeah, man. And shout out to all our patrons that participated in this poll. This is the 2010s poll. And I think from going forward, I think we made this statement on the Metallica. I think Metallica, Tool, big bands are going to have their own poll going forward.
Yeah, just completely, because this won by like an extreme landslide.
Yeah.
It just almost wasn't even fair. So we're going to be moving forward for all of our patrons, and you know, Tool will have their own poll. Before we get into the video, man, shout out to everybody that's been supporting us on Def to Radio. That's our website. It's dedicated to giving up-and-coming artists exposure. So whether you're in rap, metal, rock, or whatever the case may be, if you're up-and-coming artists, definitely check our site out and upload some music to the site. And also for people who are interested in being involved with up-and-coming artists and getting some traction with their careers, the site's go. It's for everybody. It's not just for artists, for everybody that's just into the mode, loves music, loves discovery.
And it's in beta, so work in progress. So please be gentle with giving us feedback. And shout out to everybody that's been following us on Def to Radio on Instagram, because we changed that over to Def to Radio as well. So
let's get into it, man. We got a 16-minute fucking monster of a song. If any band can keep our attention, as been shown, you know what I mean, for long periods of time, it is Tool.
Yes, sir.
So let's see what's going on, man. The big request, Tempest by Tool.
Here we go. Okay.
Yeah.
So where we're at? We're 3 minutes in now. So as most Tool songs, I have to take it in, right? And I think the more times you listen to a song, it kind of like, especially with Tool, it just you really get immersed a little bit more in the song than you did each time you listen to it. Now, with that being said, I have heard parts of this song because, I listen to Numa all the time, Invincible all the time, and Fear Inoculum all the time. So when you were requesting us to listen to this song, I, scrolled and, I think this is the last song on the album, I believe, right?
Or second to last, looks like. Yeah, Mocking Beat, I believe, is the last song.
Okay. So I've heard bits and pieces of it here and there, but never just sat down and kind of listened to it. So I want to make that clear. I want to make that statement so that way you guys are just abreast of the truth. So with that being said, man, I'm listening to the song. I'm kind of taking it in, right? And the riffs and the musicianship is always second to none when it comes to Tool. It sounds good, but I guess for me, I'm just looking for it to me, it sounds like two different songs right now.
Okay.
The way Maynard is delivering his lines and the musicianship, it sounds like two different songs. So I'm trying to see if I like that.
Gotcha.
It sounds good, but I'm trying to see if I like that. So that's kind of where I'm at so far. But they're playing their ass off. That's just what they do.
I am really fighting the urge to go on a long rant right now. So I'm gonna let it rock, man. I'm gonna try to pick our spots.
Go ahead,
here,
man. Just give us a couple. Just give us a couple.
I know y'all gonna hate that.
Just give us a couple.
Nah.
What do you think of the song so far?
It's cool. See what I'm saying? Like, I'm not doing it justice. It's cool. Very early in the game.
Early.
So
Yep.
let's keep it going.
It's not unlike you. We know your nature. Blame it all on the bastards when you're blowing out. Shame on you now. No amount of wind could begin to cover up your petulant stench and demeanor. Come as cookies and cream, so it seems we're not buying your dubious state of serenity. Acting all surprised when you're caught in the lie. We know better. It's not unlike you. It's not unlike you. We know your nature.
Danny Curry, no show. Danny Curry.
never doubt them.
Incredible.
They are no fucking joke, man. Just no joke. Danny just had to get loosened up a little bit.
It's just incredible, man.
It's hard not to like what they're doing from a skill standpoint. It's just hard. If you really care, if you appreciate skill and technique, it's just very, very difficult to not like what they're doing in this. The drumming, even just the guitar work, the bass, how they come in and out of it with the bass and the guitar work, and just how everything just always seems to be on such a very delicate string. Like timing, the tool, just timing. I know we said it before. It's just when you really hone in on everything, it's just beautiful. It's the 3-man weave or the 4-man weave.
Yeah.
You know, it's beautiful, man.
I think someone said in the Danny Carey version of Enuma that we did, at the end when he was laughing, Danny Carey was like laughing towards the ending of that song when he was playing Enuma live. And I made the joke to George, like he was like, "Woo, we made it, dude, we made it." And someone in the comments said he actually messed up. He actually messed up, and that's why he was laughing, because he actually was off key, but you just didn't really catch it, you know. And that speaks to how technically sound this band is. That, you know, you could probably make a mistake. One of these guys can make a mistake, and they'll know it.
Yeah.
But you won't, as the listener in the audience, because of so much things are happening all in tandem together that it's just very hard to kind of pick up on, you know, audibly. So that just shows how great they are of playing together.
What I've noticed when doing these reactions, because we tend to pay attention to the comments and what people are saying to get a feel for specific things that are just unique to the metal world or just the metal and rock world, right? There are a lot of bands, man, that do some really complex songs that they never play live because of how complex they are. And when you look at Tool, it's just like everything they do is complex. You know what I mean? So it's just like when you said that, man, I just think that reminded me of it. It's just like everything they do is complex. So it's just that they're so used to playing at such a level that if a mistake happens, they're trained for it. It's almost they're trained to kind of adapt to it. It seems that way, you know? So yeah, man, they're just playing at a high level, man. Let's get back to it.
Danny Carey's is no joke either. Real quick, I love this break. This pocket that they're in right here, to me, is the best part of the whole song so far, to me. I love the way this sounds, George. This part right here, George, I wish I was by myself, kicking it with my sound system, you know, sitting on the couch, got my little drink, man, and just taking it in. This is what the move, this is the move that this puts me in. That I don't want nobody around. Not my girl, not my boys, nothing. This is me and my music, and I'm kicking it and just taking in the song. It's just beautiful. It's like jazz. Jazz does that to me. And that's all I wanted to say. They're just incredible. Yeah, dude. That is nasty.
Cold. Subtlety.
Yeah, they're just the truth, man. So I know Tool is coming back to Vegas January 22nd. And I was kind of iffy, like, I don't know, man, if we're going to be able to make this one this time. But yeah, I'm going to be there. I just got to see him, man, because that's one of the best concerts I've ever been to, man.
Me too.
Shout out to Maynard
Excellent
again
concert.
for inviting us out a couple years ago, because COVID took care last year,
Yeah.
but a couple years ago, man. So shout out to Maynard for inviting us out for the first one. But yeah, I'm going to see
Fire.
that. This is gold. Wow. That was an incredible song, man. And I think this is the song that they won the Grammy for, Tempest. I believe I remember reading that they won a Grammy for this particular song for like best metal performance or something like that. And I can see why, I can hear why. Tool can show you high skill and high musicality, even if it's not in your wheelhouse of what you perceive to be groovy, which is where I fall. Because I don't perceive their music to be groovy as hell and just get me in a groove. But they still do that because they're able to rock you into a groove with that odd time signature format, but play at such a high level that you can clearly see that these guys are doing something that not many people on this earth can do. And it still has a musicality to it that's at least palatable to the ear. Whatever you want to grade it on, you like the shit, you don't like the shit, it doesn't matter. What do you think they did as far as overall from a skill musician standpoint? They destroyed it. This is a song I think is going to have to get replay value for me to love it like I love other songs from Tool. But I still enjoyed it. I think it was an enjoyable listen from a skill standpoint because I think it gave you so many different things to appreciate, you know? So this is gonna be a Schism reaction for me, man. Cause Schism, when we did that reaction, if you guys haven't seen it, go back and watch it. I wasn't really fucking with that song. I was like, yeah, you know, they can play their ass off, but I really don't love that song. Now, that constantly gets played on my playlist.
Yeah.
I love it now.
Yeah.
So I think this is gonna fall in that category for me because I can clearly see that they just destroyed it. And you can't dispute that, but I'm still not in love with it though. But it's still an incredible song. So I wanted to make sure I gave you guys, because I don't want you guys to leave this reaction like, oh man, Ryan didn't mess with it. No, I'll fuck with it. I'll fuck with it. It's just, it's a Schism type of thing. I think it's going to be a slow burn for me. And I'm going to have to go back and appreciate, because that's one thing with Tool too. When I go back and listen to the same song over and over again, I start focusing on each instrument instead of taking the whole song in its totality, which is what I did right now. There's no other band on the planet that I've ever done that with, just so you know. And that just shows how dope this band is. And that's all I have to say, like Forrest Gump.
Yeah, man, I agree with you on this being just a marvel of a song. I mean, when it comes to just talent and the ability to put on a fantastic musical display, there's very few bands that can even stand on a stage with this band. I'm gonna keep it real with you, man. Big shout out to Mr. Adam Jones, I believe this time, though, because I actually think, and we don't really shout out Adam too much. You know what I'm saying? We wanted to shout out, I think, on a Grudge, Grudge video, we wanted to shout out Justin Chancellor on the bass, but Adam Jones, man, I think around the 8-minute mark, there was just certain sounds and tones that he was using that I'm like, I don't know if I've heard that from Tool, from the songs I've heard from Tool. I don't think I've ever heard them use that. Matter of fact, I may not have heard that with anyone. And maybe with the exception of Van Halen, with how everything was toned. You know what I mean? It was so many different unique sounds coming out of the guitar that I was just like, wow, that's interesting. And it was sort of covered in distortion as well on top of that. It was like a weird, unique pitch. Not weird, but just a unique pitch covered in distortion around the 8-minute mark, where Ryan stopped it and was like, this shit just sounds phenomenal. I was just amazed by how it sounded tone-wise. So I just wanted to point out Mr. Adam Jones. The second thing I wanted to say was that I just didn't hone in on the lyrics, man, because it's a 16-minute song and I wanted to really focus on the instrumentation.
That's very true.
So I want to read what it says the song's about here. On this website, it says, this song is a reckoning with those that use their influence to control the mainstream narrative, telling the masses everything will be fine. They lull us in with their ruse, promising tranquility, while it's plain for all to see that a storm is coming, all the while not being accountable for their actions. Interesting. So I don't know if that's what Tool has signed off to say that this song means. I don't believe that's probably the case, because, you know, the site that we're looking at, it just seems like whoever wants to take a stab at giving their definition of what they believe the song is, that's just what it is. So I don't know if that's what Tool has signed off on, but I don't know if I'm gonna take it as societal. What it's done for me personally, it just seems like it's about taking accountability. and being authentic to your feelings. Right here is funny to me when it says, when caught in their lies, they act all surprised and their Teflon coat deflects the blame to the next bastard in line. That to me shows that someone's not taking accountability.
No responsibility.
Yeah, no responsibility for their actions. It's almost like, I forgot what comedian it was, like someone steals something, the type of person that steals something to help you and then helps you look for it. I don't know why that reminds me of that, but it's just like, you know.
That is so crazy, though. That would be so crazy.
They steal
they
some
showed
shit like
it.
that. Yeah,
Really?
you see my gold watch? Nope. Never, haven't seen it, but we can look under the couch and meanwhile it's in their pocket. Or maybe just hiding your true feelings about whatever it is. You know what I mean? Whatever topic, whatever you're talking about, I think can lead to
A storm.
a devastation of some sort. So you can take that even personally, just in your personal life. You're holding in, harboring these feelings, and just be honest with yourself, man. I think at the end of the song, he says, control your delusion. You know, it looks like insane striking out at random, right? You're harboring these ill feelings and this ill will and this storm, and you start striking out, and it comes off like it's this sort of random act of insanity when it really was just always what you were feeling the entire time. Pent up aggression. Absolutely. Yeah. So and it says here at the end, it says, so try as you may, feeble your attempt to atone. You can't atone for it. Your words can't erase the damage that you've created, right? You can't atone for what you've done. Had you just addressed it and been authentic and real about how you felt, you know, you could have prevented the devastation from happening. So I'm taking it from a personal standpoint. I know it seems to have more of a societal, with the definition that we read, felt more like the whole mainstream influence on the controlling. I don't know about all that, maybe, I guess. But the way I'm taking how the song made me feel is to be honest with how I feel. You're right. Yeah. So I don't end up harboring feelings and creating and having this pent up aggression and striking and creating disaster in my path. And I guess the album is Fear Inoculum, right? And I think that's part of maybe, you know, the antidote to fear, right? It's just like, maybe you think that if you're honest with your feelings, man, it can cause harm. But in not being honest with your feelings and in not addressing these things that are bothering you, the storm brewing inside of you, you know, it again creates a lot more problems, you know what I mean, for yourself. So maybe that's all part of, like, in my head, how I'm looking at the album, that's part of like the antidote to fear is don't just address your issues, address whatever is brewing inside of you head on, right? Have the courage to do so, not the, you know, don't let the fear stop you from doing it. That's how I'm taking the song.
I like it.
Again, Adam Jones to me was the star of this particular song in terms of just the tones and everything and the distortion in the guitar and the sort of sustain that was used in different parts of the song. That really stuck out to me. Danny Carey is just Danny Carey. He's the engine. He's the engine of the fucking group, you know, but I really feel like the tones and everything used really impressed me in this song. It just kind of felt like a big build up throughout the entire song. You know what I mean? And when I look at a 16-minute song, I think Invincible was a little bit more deliberate with its purpose musically than I think this was. I think Invincible, the melody, what they were talking about, what it meant to them being at a certain stage of their careers and weapons out and belly in, you know, whatever, searching for another win, right? It just felt like a lot of what was going on in that song was deliberate. And when there were moments in the song where I'm like, this is a moment that was way different from what was happening earlier in the song. And I feel like this was just sort of a, you know, the song did transform. I don't want to act like it didn't transform, but I felt like it kind of went along, it went a bit too long in certain parts, even though what was done was at a high level. I'm like, that could have been 3 minutes of that and I would have been fine. You know what I mean? So I just feel like it was just kind of going on and on and on and meandering along, maybe, in my opinion, a bit unnecessarily. I don't think the song needed to be 16 minutes to prove what it needed to prove. And I just think it was a bit of incredible filler. Let me put that in there. Incredible filler. Not because you say filler, people were just like, oh, filler. What are you talking about? Incredible filler with incredible musicianship that I just don't think was completely necessary. And it just kind of, I'm like, yeah, this song could have impressed me in the same way had it been about 8 minutes, quite frankly. And I don't know if there were any incredible, unique moments in the song like I've heard in other Tool songs, whether it was the melody in Invincible, right? And also in the musicianship Invincible, whether it was the crazy drum work in Pneuma, whether it was the Lateralis in terms of just the melody and the guitar in Lateralis, certain songs, certain things in certain Tool songs have just grabbed me, and they were like moments and something that sort of distinguished the music in different ways that just made me attached to the song. This was just great but nothing in it attached me. I don't feel attached to anything in it. With all that being said, this is definitely, obviously, on the first listen. This is a 15-minute song. We're going to have to definitely sit with this. This was incredible in terms of just talent and skill. We get it.
sir.
We just want to make sure that we drive that home. But, overall, musically, is it a song that I feel like I'm going to go back to as much as other Tool songs on the first listen? I ain't seeing that right now, bruh. I'm not seeing it, but I do see something that is something they should be proud of what they've done here and what they were able to accomplish with it. Hopefully that wasn't too anticlimactic for y'all. I know Numa, we every day, man, we get people just, telling us how much they love the Numa reaction. And, when we ask people on our Def to Radio Instagram, DEAF #2 Radio Instagram, what their favorite reaction from us was, I think Numa pretty much dominated.
I think so too.
For
Yeah,
a lot of people.
I think
So that's a lot of people's favorite reaction for us. So I know that you guys come to expect certain things, but we got to keep it real. Excellent musicianship, just didn't grab us as
good
much
song,
as a song.
Great
It was
song.
Very, very good, man.
Grammy award-winning song.
Yeah, just a personal thing on if it's something that we felt is grabbing us right at this moment. But we'll keep you guys updated on as we listen to this more. I'm
telling you.
We'll keep you guys in the loop on Tempest because we know that you guys are super passionate about it. All right, man. Thank you for everybody on our Patreon that voted for this one. We appreciate
Yes,
that
sir.
one. Dominated. I think, as we said, all Tool polls in the future will just be, all polls involving Tool will be just Tool only. It won't be in the mix with other bands.
Yeah.
We get it, man. The Tool Army is serious. They're real. They're going to show out and show up. Yeah, shout out to everybody that voted on the poll on Patreon. And that's the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed that, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And also, guys, we have a Patreon channel, of course. It will allow you to get exclusive access to our content. The link for that will be in the description. I'm George. That's Ryan. Lost to Vegas.
We out.